My name is Qiana Green, and I am currently serving as an academic advisor at Loyola University, Chicago.
Scott Gabbert, I am the Associate Director of Undergraduate Advising at North Central College in Naperville, Illinois.
So my name is Rabia. I'm currently the Assistant Director for Staff and Programs in the Department of Residence Life at Loyola University.
Okay, I'm Kerr. I'm the Assistant Director for Academic Advising and Services, and I work at Loyola University, Chicago.
My name is Thompson, and I currently work at the Office of Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Concerns at the University of Illinois, Chicago.
My name is Colz. I'm the Program Director for Student Activities and Orientation, and I work at Loyola University, Chicago.
Alright, well this is an interesting story.
It's funny, I've used this example before, and I think a lot of student affairs professionals have had a similar experience. I fell into student affairs.
I was a student leader in my undergrad.
And I knew when I started college that I wanted to be an RA.
And then I was also an RA my senior year only.
I started in residence life.
There was an RA position in the building where I lived, and at the time the RA job was the best paying job on campus.
I worked in London. I became an admissions counselor for my alma mater, which is a very small school.
I went to graduate school in college student personnel with the intent of getting a master's degree and then getting into academic advising.
And then a graduate student here at Loyola.
So I talked to current resident directors, my mentors, the director, and they really said, hey, do you know that there's a field in higher ed that you can go into and do this as a living because you're naturally good at it.
And little did I know that I actually had a passion for, being a peer advisor and, using my knowledge to help other students succeed.
Then after graduation, I still kept connections.
But I didn't have an interest in getting into it when I was an undergraduate student or anything. It was just kind of the job was a job at the time. Somebody that they wanted to hire me, and I could travel around the country a little bit and manage to get an interest in that fashion.
When I finished my master's degree, I left the field for about 2.5 years and found myself wanting to be back in a college campus. It was something that I really wanted to do.
Fulfillment in the job.
Fulfillment.
I think that preparing students to lead, or people to lead extraordinary lives, is what gets me up every day and come into work.
It definitely would be the close relationships that I build with the students.
We joke when you hear about the aha moment. I think it's when you have a student who kind of has that aha moment.
I do enjoy coming to work every day.
It's seeing the students who plan an event like the concerts that we have on campus, really seeing students enjoy themselves, seeing an event come together well.
But I do enjoy leaving every day.
But when I can sit with a student, usually it's a student who's having problems. Somebody who's actually being kicked out of the university, somebody who's been very ill and had to drop out. I feel like I have an opportunity for a teaching moment with that student.
Seeing them have that kind of sense of accomplishment when they're done.
And for me, being able to be with that student in that super difficult moment and also make that a really pivotal moment in their life or an epiphanal moment for them, that's the most fulfilling thing.
Seeing them kind of find that niche.
And feeling that, I definitely was part of that process.
Or knowing that you helped a student come to a decision about something. Not necessarily academics, not necessarily just a course. Well, which course do I take? The sociology course or psychology course? Yeah, at that very basic level, but something beyond that.
It keeps me going to know that I am impacting a student's life and helping them to be at a different point when they leave me.
Helping a student come to a decision on their own.
Teaching them to be responsible and to get what they want on their own.
I got you on my mind.
Student affairs is more welcoming. it's a happier group. The purpose is more clearly to develop students in a big picture. On the academic side of the house, often your boss can be somebody who has their PhD and has been a faculty member for a long time, and they don't think in terms of student development. They don't think about the whole person. So I think that's one of the differences.
It was a great transition because I finally went back to having a life.
The academic side also can be way more competitive. I felt an absence of that in student affairs, and I feel a lot of it in academic affairs. Because the nature of being a faculty member is pretty individual and lonesome and competitive, that carries on into the workplace.
Going back to student affairs and going into student affairs or the residence halls as a full-time professional was difficult because, you know, your time, you really have to want it. You really have to want to have a passion for it and really want to get that experience, because your time is not your own, all of the time.
When I looked around, I kind of realized that I'm not cut out to be a faculty member, but that I'm definitely drawn to the more academic side of the services. I'm also not really good at the student affairs, like Greek life, or, you know, I did residence life. It was not I was not called to do it, but, you know, I just felt very drawn to the academic side. So once I looked at all the choices, and I found being a learning specialist and knowing about cognitive theory and how students learn and how to help them with study strategies and college survival skills, I just really felt drawn to that.
You really have to set your boundaries, and that's difficult in that situation when you're living and working in the same place.
I would do this job whether it was in student affairs or in academic affairs.
We contribute to student success.
You know, I think it varies from university to university.
Through it all, it's on a small scale and a large scale.
I think at a very basic level,
The best way that I can contribute to student success is really through relationships.
On a small scale, it would be the one-on-one interactions, whether it's with a student, a graduate student, a professional.
There are students that we have really good relationships with, that I have really good relationships with. So it's really working with those students, getting to know them, getting to know a little bit more about them, looking at their individual circumstances and their individual situation and trying to help them the best they can.
Our GLBT office, specifically where I work, is the student hangout and also study space for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender students.
I can offer a lot of natural counseling as well as giving them direction based on my experiences.
An academic advisor contributes to student success by seeing the students successfully academically.
When they leave my office, I want them to leave in a better place and with more information and not be as frazzled than they were when they came in.
Getting to know the students who are planning it, working with them, meeting with them regularly, helping them to really make their event a success.
Like I said, I love being creative and utilizing a lot of ideas, and I tie that into creating a meaningful experience for anyone that works for us in our department.
And that's what I do strive with every single student.
For me, the most important element about student affairs is the growth and leadership potential of every individual.
I try to make the work of the office go smoothly and keep the project going.
Student success is measured by if I'm giving someone feedback on, their emotional maturity or their dependability or their administrative tasks, and they're able to see that in a concrete way and then able to fix it for the next time around, that's how I know that they're succeeding.
It's all relationship based. I think my advice is
definitely tap into what you're naturally good at. What is it that really you can see yourself doing forever?
Find a good mentor.
Keep an open mind.
There's so many different opportunities out there.
You really have to set your boundaries.
Feel things out. Really take the time to explore a position, take the time to explore an area.
Talk to professionals. who are in the field now. Try to get to know as many as you can.
Don't be afraid to offer suggestions or offer ways to potentially improve the environment, student environment, the work environment, the way things are done.